Sharks, real sharks, real sharks, real sharks, real sharks. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't tuned into this podcast before, this is Real Sharks. It is me, your noble host, Rob, with Sir William.
Hello.
And Sir Kelly.
Boy.
And we're doing all these episodes recap for Season 8 of Game of Thrones. Under House Real Sharks. Swim, fight, eat!
Ours is a flayed, upside-down shark.
Yes, that's our house. The flayed, upside-down shark.
Shark with a film roll.
Know it, hear it. We on the north, not the Starks.
Oh, boy. Are we halfway done with the season already?
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Kinda?
There's only 6 episodes, I believe, though.
But there are 6 episodes for the final season.
That was right, okay. So now we're getting to episode 3. But let's talk about it, though. So let's talk about the episode 2 recap here. So we saw Brienne knighted. What did anybody think about that? Anybody like that?
I was a little touched.
I don't know. Made the feels happen.
Yeah?
I mean,
kind of, though. I at first, I was like trying to force it, but then after I let it go, I don't know. What do you guys feel? Do you guys feel like that was rushed just for the thing?
Actually, I thought it was. I thought the episode was a little boring, to be honest.
Yeah.
That was boring.
No, I'm not gonna lie.
I liked
too.
it.
It was like part 2 of the first
There were
episode.
some parts I liked, some parts I didn't, but
Continuous. They were necessary.
But Brienne's knighting, I thought, was actually one of the highlights of it.
That was pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it was good.
It was a long time coming. I mean, that was a really good story.
I mean, it kind of makes it seem like how they want to end it is kind of like her probably like being the one remaining knight left.
You think so?
I think so. I think that makes it seem like she's going to be able to survive
be
this. Eaten
by spiders.
By spiders.
The hounds!
That'd be so bad. That'd be so bad, bro. Hashtags, better be some spiders in that next episode.
Hashtag better be some spiders.
There better be some spiders, bro. They were in the book and they were badass.
Ladies and gentlemen, please hashtag on Twitter.
Hashtag spiders.
Hashtag
white spiders.
Better be spiders. Game of Thrones. Real Sharks. Okay, so, one of the things that was actually brought to my attention with this episode, it's a little off the cuff here, but Arya and not only Arya and Jon's relationship, but Arya and Gendry's, little sex scene. Everyone's getting very offended by all that. Why?
Well, all right.
It was like watching your daughter.
Well, I mean, kind of, but there are a lot of people who were really pissed off.
Why?
Because they believed that Arya was portrayed as a lesbian in the show. And they did not want her.
Wow, really?
Yeah, a lot of people went on Twitter and they were so pissed that Arya had sex with Gendry.
Okay, hold on.
Let Rob debunk that.
Let me get to your part right there. So hold that thought, please. If I forget, please remind me, because me and Steve have read the books here, ladies and gentlemen. So
and that's what I was going to bring up with you guys.
Let me get to my first point, because I actually have this in my notes here that I wrote down about this today. So one of the most interesting things that I thought, because I don't read these articles. I think it's stupid. I think it's nonsense, because I've read the books, so I really don't care what other journalists have to say about what the episode said and showed you towards Game of Thrones. I really don't care. Sorry, but I don't. But you should care about this opinion.
Yeah.
Our opinion.
We've read the books all the way.
Anyway, so I was actually shocked because I just heard these things about Arya's relationship. Boom, her relationship. But then I was like, I see one person touch on it. And it was like the real relationship that she would have been shocked about. And it was Arya and Jon. So first of all, this idea that Arya is a lesbian is completely unfounded because in the book, she's actually in love with Jon. And you may think, whoa, what is he talking about? No.
It's true.
The books have not finished. There is no end. They have not finished yet. He has not finished the book. So the shows have taken its own course. Mm-hmm. Now, in the show, Arya is described to be more like Ned's sister, Lyanna, who is, in fact, Jon's mom.
Yeah.
If you go according to the show now.
Yeah.
Now,
the rogue Stark.
Jon was always betrayed, too. Remember they said he was more like his aunt, Lyanna.
Right.
So that's why they have a correlation between the two already. That's a relationship. Is because out of everybody, Arya is not like Sansa. She's more boyish.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's more boyish. But the only person that is like her that's a black sheep is Jon. Because Jon is also another black sheep. He's a bastard.
Yeah.
So them two are the black sheep of the family. Not only that, but when Arya in the show is getting rid of Needle. Now, in the show, this is very interesting. Because in the show, as she's getting rid of it, you're making it seem like, oh, you don't want her to throw away Needle. However, in the book, she's actually not just thinking about Needle, she's thinking about Jon. And she's thinking about very, very deeply how much she misses him, how Jon gave her the sword, how she can't lose it because Jon gave it to her, and it's so precious. Anytime Arya's alone, too, she thinks about Jon. So it is actually a pretty big, for being a fan of the book, I don't personally think this is the case, but it's been a big fan theory that Arya is actually in love with Jon. And that Jon and Arya are actually supposed to kind of, in some people's eyes, think we're supposed to end up, because technically they're not really related if you go off the R plus J.
They are.
R plus L equals J theory.
Yeah.
But that has not come true in the book. Now, I am strictly giving you a book perspective. But, so the idea that Arya is supposed to be, somehow a lesbian from the book perspective is completely weird.
I know.
That's completely unfounded.
Is it the book perspective or the show? Because even in the show, she kind of had a thing for Gendry in the beginning. There was no tell for her whatsoever that she had any type of lesbian action.
Exactly. Even in the book, too, she has a thing for him. It's always
it's always been a thing, right?
I mean, even when they saw each other in the episode, it kind of seemed like she was kind of hinting me, I still got feelings for you. And
she saw that shirt off.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure when he saw her throwing those knives, he got all excited.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course. He was smiling, dude.
But no, I don't. So that's weird that people got all pissed off on Twitter about that. That's
weird. That's a little weird.
I know. That's
I think that comes completely because people have never read the books. It's just like we had on the last episode when people were like, "Oh, the Targaryens, they don't have saddles." Yes, they do. The Targaryens have always saddled their dragons.
Yes.
If you read the book, you would know that.
They said, oh my God.
No, not only that, but there's I'm not going to get too far into it. There's a direct quote I wanted to put on Twitter from one of my favorite novels, which is, the Dance of the Dragons, Civil War. But Daemon Targaryen went up in the air on his dragon, unchained. His nephew, I can't remember his name at the point, was still chained to his dragon. When Daemon left off his dragon, his nephew was still chained, he threw Dark Sister through his nephew's one good eye and down his throat. Until later on, when they found his skull and body, he still had Dark Sister in his skull.
Yeah.
If you don't know what Dark Sister is, that's because you don't read the books and you should be listening to this podcast.
Go back and read, damn you.
That know the show and the books. Dark Sister is a Targaryen sword. Yes.
It's an ancient sword.
Yes. That was carried by one of Aegon's sisters. I believe it was. Visenya.
The elder sister.
Yeah.
But other thing I saw online is that the Game of Thrones showrunners actually had to come out with an announcement right before episode 2 dropped, letting fans know that Arya is now 18 years old in the show.
Well, okay. Again.
This is like medieval times, guys.
First, not only just that, book perspective coming out again. George R. R. Martin has even said himself that his characters age more fast into the Game of Thrones universe.
Yeah.
That little time wheel you see at the beginning of Game of Thrones in the opening, that's the Wheel of Time, because George R. R. Martin is a fan of the Wheel of Time.
You gotta be
telling me. Spinning the time.
You're telling me all that time it was telling me the story? And, by the way, why haven't anybody said anything about Khal Drogo raping a 14-year-old Daenerys at the time in the season 1?
Steve, we can go even further. How about we say, in the book perspective, she was perfectly okay with it.
She
is a huge promiscuous woman in the book. So she has sex with her servants. She has sex with a lot of different people.
Yes.
It kind of just makes me laugh a bit. I mean, because a lot of people were so mad. I mean, But you guys do realize that years still go by in the show. You see these characters get older.
This is a span of a few years, yes.
It's just funny. I mean, when I read it, you guys really had to come out with this? I knew that she had to be at least 17, 18 in the show.
Yeah, I think that's silly.
I mean, look at the dire wolves. They're old.
Yeah, that's a silly...
notion,
That's a silly argument to have in this show. And anyone, I think, who's making that argument again, like we were talking about on our other show, or our last show segment, go back and listen to it, is having a political view when you watch something can really damage your view of the whole show.
Exactly, yeah.
So stop going into it with the political view that everyone's trying to be a Me Too movement, or they're trying to
let the moment breathe.
There is nothing in the show about lesbians and gays or anybody. Everybody is just who they are.
Yeah.
I mean, God, if people only knew how deep the books actually go, how little they leave out to certain characters. For example, Ramsay. Did you know that Ramsay actually had a guy before Theon called Reek? And the reason his name was Reek is because after Ramsay had raped a woman, then murdered her, Reek would rape the dead bodies. Did you know that? No, because they have to nitpick some of that.
They had to tell them. You weren't going to get that in season 4. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. All right, guys. So, do you guys think Winterfell is going to fall?
Oh man, that's a good question.
I mean, we have, like I said, 6 episodes. Cersei has not gone there. In the show, they always show you where we're going to go. In the credits, in the title sequence, they always show you where we're going to go. They did show King's Landing.
Yeah.
They did show King's
Landing. They showed falling, though. I mean, they showed the wall falling.
I mean, come on. Do you think it's going to be, because Dany did have that vision, remember, of the Iron Throne covered in snow?
Oh, yeah, she did, yeah. I mean...
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say yeah.
As a fan, I hope not, but as reading from the books, I can see Winterfell falling.
From the book's perspective, or the show?
Them retreating back to King's Landing?
That's what I think what's going to happen. Because, again, this is episode 3. You think that they're going to do all remaining episodes at, Winterfell?
No, not at all. I think it's going to end.
I think they're going to get their ass kicked, and they're going to
run tail and go to King's Landing.
Ironborn people are going to catch wind and be like, oh, this is going to be it.
Interesting. So, who do you guys think? So now we got that sneak peek for episode 3, which it's like finally, because that's what I actually had a big problem with episode 2. But what was funny, a real quick joke on that notation, I thought what was funny about episode 3 is you saw every time it did that look of doom, doom, doom towards every character. I was like, what if that was a whole episode, just like the White Walkers get there, and the whole episode is just close-up shots of their faces in terror, looking like, first Varys, boom. Then Jon, boom.
Motionless.
Then Dany. No dialogue, just all these close-up shots. Every single... Then at the very end of the episode, you just see the Night King come out of the tree line. Credits.
Just staring. What's up? And no credits, and then it's doing the Seinfeld
wouldn't it be funnier if the dead just got there and just kind of encircled the city and just waited for all of them to die, besiege the city, starve them out?
Oh man, that would be terrible.
What if that happens?
Yeah,
what if that happens?
Wow, Rob. That's kind of why not? Because they know they already know that they feel.
I won't lie. I wrote that in one of a short story I wrote once, so that's why I kind of.
They just circle because they can't fight them.
They just starve them out.
They starve them out.
They're gonna have to come out, eventually.
With that being said, guys, do we see a white Hodor?
What?
A white Hodor.
White Hodor?
Yeah.
I hope not, because I was so discouraged.
Brand said this.
It would ruin it.
But it's Game of Thrones, though.
No.
I mean, that's them.
I wasn't a big fan of Hold the Door.
For real?
Right.
I thought that Hold the Door part was absolutely stupid. One of the worst writing decisions George R. R. Martin ever made. The mother was cool. I actually believe, because I heard that these guys that make the show were they were talking to George R. R. Martin, and they were and then when we heard what happened to Hodor, we're like, oh shit, really? Is that the real story? George R. R. Martin's like, totally.
Yeah.
I actually think George R. R. Martin was like, yeah.
Just fucking with them.
I totally planned it in order to go out like that.
Behind the whole thing.